तो अब हम स्टार्ट करते हैं इम्पोर्टेंट न्यूज़ ऑफ वर्ल्ड। तो दिसंबर 2020 की सिंगापुर हॉकर कल्चर्स गेट यूनेस्को रिकॉग्नाइजेशन। Singapore hawker culture gets UNESCO recognition. The hawker culture in Singapore, a popular Singaporean style of street dining and culinary practices in a multicultural urban environment, has been recognized by the UNESCO. Right? So the hawker culture of street food in Singapore has been listed on the UN's prestigious representative list of the intangible culture heritage of humanity. Fine. India contribution USD 1 million to WADA for scientific research for clean sport globally. Fine. So India has pledged a sum of USD 1 million to the World Anti-Doping Agency towards the global agency scientific research budget to ensure an atmosphere of clean sport globally, which will allow WADA to develop innovative anti-doping testing and detection methods. India's contribution of USD 1 million is the highest among contribution made by other world governments, including China, Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Fine. About WADA. WADA के बारे में पता है, ये वर्ल्ड एंटी डोपिंग एजेंसी है, ठीक है, इज़ अ फाउंडेशन initiated by the International Olympic Committee based in Canada to promote, coordinate and monitor the fight against drugs in sports. It was founded on 10 November 1999. Indian Embassy in Beijing launched a movie series CinemaScope. तो इंडिया एम्बेसी इन बेजिंग launched a important series. तो इंडियन एम्बेसी इन बेजिंग launched a movie series CinemaScope. Indian Embassy in Beijing launched a movie series CinemaScope exclusively for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, in which more than 2 dozen Indian films dubbed in Russian language will be screened on a monthly basis. The movie screening began with Three Idiots and will continue till India's chairmanship of the SCO Council of Heads, right, of state meetings in 2023. Forbes 2020 list of world's 100 most powerful women. फर्स्ट रैंक आई है जर्मन चांसलर एंजेला मार्कल की. सेकंड रैंक आई है प्रेसिडेंट यूरोपियन सेंट्रल बैंक क्रिस्टीने लगार्डे. थर्ड रैंक आई है यूएस वाइस प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्ट कमला हैरिस. 41st रैंक आई है यूनियन फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर निर्मला सीताराम. 55th रैंक आई है HCL एंटरप्राइज CEO रोशनी नदर मल्होत्रा. 68th रैंक आई है Biocon founder Kiran Majumdar-Shaw. Forbes is an American business magazine owned by the Integrated Whale Media Investors, right, and the Forbes family. Editor-in-chief is Steve Forbes. Asia Pacific Vaccine Access Facility. The Asian Development Bank has launched a $9 billion vaccine. Right? Asian Development Bank has launched a $9 billion vaccine initiative. ठीक है? The Asia Pacific Vaccine Access Facility offering rapid and equitable support to its developing members as they procure and deliver effective and safe coronavirus disease COVID-19 vaccine. The financing of vaccine by ADP will also be in close coordination with other development partners including WHO, World Bank Group, Gavi, COVID-19 Vaccine Global Access Facility, COVAX, and bilateral and multilateral partners. UNESCO to launch international prize in the name of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So UNESCO has decided to launch an international prize in the field of creative economy in the name of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Starting November 2021, the $50,000 award will be given away once in 2 years, right, for global economic initiatives of the youth. अब शेख मुजिबदार कौन थे? वॉज अ बांग्लादेशी पॉलिटिशियन. ही इज़ कॉल्ड द फादर ऑफ द नेशन. शेख मुजिबदार. He served as the first president of Bangladesh and later as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. UNESCO has declared 2021 as the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development. Currently, there are 23 UNESCO International Awards in the name of international celebrities and organizations. India and US signed Memorandum of Understanding on Intellectual Property Cooperation. Right? Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade (DPIIT), Ministry of Commerce and Industry, India signed the Memorandum of Understanding with US Patent and Trademark Office, Department of Commerce of the US. The Memorandum of Understanding will facilitate the exchange and dissemination of best practices, experiences, and knowledge on IP among the public, between and among the industry, universities, research and development organizations. Now recently India signed Memorandum of Understanding with Denmark on intellectual property cooperation. UN removes cannabis from most dangerous drug category. Right? See, UN removes cannabis from most dangerous drug category at its ongoing 63rd session. The 53 members CND, that is the UN Commission on Narcotics Drugs. The UN Commission on Narcotic Drugs has chosen to affirm a WHO recommendation from 2019 to remove cannabis from its most dangerous category. Currently in India, the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances NDPS Act 1985 illegalize any mixture with or without any neutral material of any of the two forms of cannabis, charas and ganja, or any drink prepared from it. Fine. Mount Everest is now 86. Lovely news है. Mount Everest is now 86 centimeter taller. China and Nepal jointly announced that the new height of Mount Everest, the world's highest peak, is 8848.86 meters. The new height is 86 centimeter more than the previous measurement, according to the measurement done in 1954. पहले 1954 में measurement हुई थी by the Survey of India. The height of Mount Everest उस टाइम थी 8848 meters. India hosts the SCO Council of Heads of Government meet. India hosts the SCO Council of Heads of Government SCO-CHG meet. Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu, Vice President of India. Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu, the Vice President of India, chaired the 19th SCO Council of Head of Government on 30th November. ये पहली बार होगा that a summit level meeting was held under India's chairmanship since India gained full membership of the organization in 2017. India considers the Shanghai Cooperation Organization एक important regional organization है to promote the cooperation in the area of peace, security, trade, economy and culture. India is committed to deepening its cooperation with SCO by playing a proactive, positive and constructive role in the organization. Next SCO Council of Head of Government in 2021 will be chaired by Kazakhstan. अब कुछ फैक्ट्स देख लेते हैं SCO के बारे में. शंघाई कोऑपरेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और शंघाई पैक्ट इज़ अ यूरेशियन पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमिक एंड सिक्योरिटी अलायंस. ये कब फॉर्म हुआ था? 15 जुलाई 2001 में ये फॉर्म हुआ था. इसके मेंबर्स कौन कौन से हैं? चाइना, कजाकिस्तान, किर्गिज़स्तान, रशिया, तजाकिस्तान, यूज़बेकिस्तान, इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान. बस तुर्कमेनिस्तान नहीं है, ये याद रखना. इंडिया और पाकिस्तान है, चाइना भी आ जाएगा, रशिया आ जाएगा. चाइना, रशिया, इंडिया, पाकिस्तान. बाकी सारे देख लो. कजाकिस्तान, तजाकिस्तान, किर्गिज़स्तान, यूज़बेकिस्तान. इसका हेडक्वार्टर है बीजिंग, चाइना. दुबई, UAE, get Arab Gulf's first coal power plant. Dubai is starting up the $3.4 billion Hassian coal plant, with capacity being increased from an initial 600 megawatts to 2400 by 2023. Japan's Ziraco will supply coal under a long-term agreement with Aqua Power of Saudi Arabia, which is developing the plant. International Energy Agency, which advises the world's richest economy on energy policy, said Hassan will provide 20% of Dubai's power when fully operational and greatly reduce electricity costs for locals. नेक्स्ट न्यूज़ में आते हैं. स्कॉटलैंड पहली ऐसा नेशन बना है टू मेक सैनिटरी पैड टैफून फ्री. Scotland became the first country to make sanitary products free. It is the first nation in the world to take a step against period poverty, which refers to the prevalent phenomenon of being unable to afford products such as pads or tampons to manage menstrual bleeding. UNDP and Invest India launched the SDG Sustainable Development Goal Investor Map for India. Right? UNDP, United Nations Development Program, and Invest India have launched the Sustainable Development Goal Investor Map for India, laying out 18 investment opportunities areas in 6 critical SDG enabling sectors. ये पहली बार होगा SDG इन्वेस्टर मैप फॉर इंडिया. की हाईलाइट्स इसके क्या क्या हैं वो देख लेते हैं. ऑफ द 18 investment opportunities areas identified, 10 are already mature investable areas that have seen robust private equity and venture capital activity and features companies that have been able to unlock, scale and demonstrate profitability. The remaining 8 IOAs are emerging opportunities which have seen trading from early stage investors. The map has also identified 8 white spaces which have seen investor interest and have the potential to grow into investor opportunities areas within a 5-6 year horizon. However, this requires further policy support and private sector participation to mature into commercially attractive IOAs. By mapping the overall and gaps between public sector priorities and private sector interest, the SDG investor map lays out pathways that can bring together private sector investment and public sector support for 6 SDG enabling sectors, including education, healthcare, agriculture and allied activities, financial services, renewable energy and alternatives, and sustainable environment. Fine. ठीक है. अबाउट इन्वेस्ट इंडिया के बारे में थोड़ा देख लेते हैं. इन्वेस्ट इंडिया, द नेशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रमोशन एजेंसी. द नेशनल Investment Promotion Agency is a non-profit venture under the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. It was set up in 2009. अब APEC Summit 2020 में आते हैं. APEC Summit 2020, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation's economic leaders meetings were held under the chairmanship of Malaysia Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin. This is Malaysia's second time hosting an APEC meeting, having hosted one in 1998. After the virtual summit held on 20 November 2020, APEC leaders issued the APEC Putrajaya Vision 2040 and Kuala Lumpur Declaration. Right? The theme of the APEC Malaysia 2020 was optimizing human potential towards a resilient future of shared prosperity, prioritize and progress. About Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC. The Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation is an intergovernmental forum. ये एक intergovernmental forum है 21 member के लिए for 21 member economies in the Pacific Rim that promotes free trade throughout the Asia Pacific region. Headquarter सिंगापुर में है. ये कब फाउंड हुआ था? नवंबर 1989. अब इंडिया होस्ट करेगा G20 समिट इन 2023. इंडिया सेट टू होस्ट द G20 समिट इन 2023 इंस्टेड ऑफ 2022. ठीक है. द 75th ईयर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस. इंडोनेशिया विल एज्यूम द G20 प्रेसिडेंसी इन 2022 आफ्टर अ स्वैप विद इंडिया. तो इंडोनेशिया होस्ट करेगा 2022, इंडिया होस्ट करेगा 2023. इंडोनेशिया वुड ऑल्सो चेयर द एशियान, would also chair the Association of Southeast Asian Nations in 2023. इंडोनेशिया 2023 में एशियन को चेयर करेगा और 22 में G20. नोट, नाउ द G20 समिट इज़ टू बी होस्टेड बाय इटली. 2021 में इटली होस्ट करेगा, इंडोनेशिया 2022 में, इंडिया 2023 में ब्राज़ील 2024 में, राइट। तो क्योंकि 2022 इज़ द 75th ईयर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस, राइट, इन्होंने स्वैप कर लिया है इंडिया के साथ इंडोनेशिया। 15th G20 समिट, ठीक है। Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi participated in the 15th G20 summit convened by Saudi Arabia. सऊदी अरेबिया अभी इस साल सऊदी अरेबिया में हुई थी on 21-22 November 2020. The theme of the summit was realizing opportunities of 21st century for all, which has assumed greater importance in the wake of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The agenda of the summit was focused on overcoming the pandemic, economic recovery, and restoring jobs and building an inclusive, sustainable and resilient future. Fine. अब G20 के बारे में थोड़ा पढ़ लेते हैं। G20 के बारे में थोड़ा पढ़ लेते हैं। 26 सितंबर 1999 को ये फॉर्म हुआ था। 20 मेंबर्स अर्जेंटीना, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ब्राज़ील, कनाडा, चाइना, फ्रांस, जर्मनी, इंडिया, इंडोनेशिया, इटली, जापान, साउथ कोरिया, मैक्सिको, रशिया, सऊदी अरेबिया, साउथ अफ्रीका, टर्की, यूके, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स एंड यूरोपियन यूनियन. It is the second G20 meeting this year 2020. The first G20 Extraordinary Leaders Summit was held in March this year 2020. फाइन, ये सेकंड G20 मीटिंग हो रही है 2020 में। पहली हुई थी 2020 में, द फर्स्ट G20 एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी लीडर समिट हुई थी जो मार्च में हुई थी। फाइन, इटली वॉज एज्यूम द प्रेजिडेंसी of G20 in December 2021. Italy, followed by India in 2022, but India ने स्वैप कर ली इंडोनेशिया के साथ. India will enter the G20 Troika along with Saudi Arabia when Italy will take over the presidency of G20 on 1st December 2020. In order to sustain the continuity and consistency, a system called the Troika. Troika क्या है? In order to sustain the continuity and consistency, a system called the Troika is designed where three countries, previous, present and future presidency holders, they work in close cooperation and in dialogue with one another. इसे कहते हैं ट्रॉइका. तो उन्होंने कहा था इंडिया विल एंटर द G20 ट्रॉइका with Saudi Arabia when Italy will take over the presidency of G20. What's best cities? Only one Indian city features in the ranking. वर्ल्ड बेस्ट सिटीज़ में एक ही इंडियन सिटी आई है. द टॉप 10 cities of 2021 in the world are London, New York, Paris, Moscow, Tokyo, Dubai, Singapore, Barcelona, Los Angeles, Madrid, as per a list revealed by Resonance Consultancy Limited. इंडिया की सिर्फ एक ही सिटी आई है. इंडिया इज ओनली वन सिटी इन द लिस्ट, दैट इज दिल्ली. Delhi is ranked 62 on the list. Resonance Consultancy ranks the world's best cities with population of more than a million using a combination of statistical performance and qualitative evaluation by locals and visitors in 25 areas grouped into 6 core categories. It identifies cities that are more desirable for locals, visitors and business people. तो दिल्ली ही आया है 62 में. फाइन. तो PMs of India and Bhutan launched. तो PMs of India and Bhutan launched RuPay Card Phase 2 in Bhutan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with his Bhutanese counterpart Lotte Tshering virtually launched RuPay Card Phase 2 on 20th November. The Phase 2 will now allow Bhutanese card holders to access RuPay network in India. Fine. The two prime ministers had jointly launched Phase 1 of the project during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Bhutan in August last year. Phase 1 of RuPay cards in Bhutan has enabled Indian visitors in Bhutan to access ATMs and points of sale terminals across Bhutan. The RuPay card is an Indian debit and credit card payment network with acceptance at ATMs, POS devices and e-commerce websites. Fine. अब इंडिया लग्जमबर्ग वर्चुअल समिट 2020. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a bilateral summit with Xavier Bettel, Prime Minister of Luxembourg, on November 19, 2020. This is the first standalone summit between India and Luxembourg in the past 2 decades. The two prime ministers agreed to strengthen cooperation on realizing effective multilateralism and combating global challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic, especially in the areas of financial technology, green financing, space application, digital innovations, and startups, terrorism, and climate change. ISRO recently launched Luxembourg's 4 satellites, and Prime Minister welcomed Luxembourg's announcement to join the International Solar Alliance and global initiative led by India. World Economic Forum selects 4 Indian cities to pioneer roadmap for smart cities. The World Economic Forum has selected 36 cities out of 22 countries and 6 continents for pioneering a new global policy roadmap for the smart cities that are developed by G20 Global Smart Cities Alliance. The 4 Indian cities are Indore, Faridabad, Bengaluru, and Hyderabad. Other cities are London, Toronto, Moscow, Dubai, Brasilia, and Melbourne have also been selected. The pioneer cities launched their activities on November 17 at a global event broadcast by the Smart City Expo World Congress, which is the world's premier smart cities event. Fine. 36 pioneer cities that have been recruited will be collaborating with the global experts for enhancing their city policies in areas ranging from cybersecurity, privacy protection to better services for the differently abled people as well as broadband coverage. द G20 ग्लोबल स्मार्ट सिटीज़ अलायंस है क्या, इसके बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं. ये इस्टेब्लिश हुआ था जून 2019 में ड्यूरिंग द G20 समिट इन ओसाका, जापान. Pioneer of Change Summit 2020. This summit 16 to 20 November 2020 has been inaugurated by the World Economic Forum to discuss digital business, sustainable production, health, infrastructure, financial innovation, new work models, and frontier technologies. So this much for today. Thank you.